Terminal services can be configured to perform network load balancing. It does this using the terminal services broker to coordinate and distribute load between servers in your server farm. There are 3 steps required to set up terminal services for load balancing. First, you need to install the broker. The broker is used by terminal services to determine which servers get new sessions sent to them and to make sure disconnected sessions get sent back to the correct server. Next, you need to configure network load balancing on each of your terminal servers, and lastly, you need to configure DNS round robin. Once this is done, the terminal servers in your farm will be ready to perform network load balancing. TS Session Broker in Windows Server 2008 provides load balancing and session reconnection in a terminal services environment. TS Session Broker replaces terminal services session directory that was available in Windows Server 2003. The big difference between the two is that TS Session Broker can run on Windows Server 2008 Standard Edition. Terminal Services Session Directory previously ran only on Enterprise Edition of Windows Server 2003. TS Session Broker can be installed on any member server in your domain. It can also be installed on your terminal server if you wish, but does not require any other terminal services components. The broker takes incoming connections and distributes them to the servers in your farm. Think of the TS broker as a traffic cop, directing connections between the different terminal servers in your network. It does this by distributing new sessions evenly across all servers in the farm. If you have a server that you want to have less or more sessions than the other servers, you can change the weight of individual servers. The higher the weight, the more sessions the server will get. If you have servers that cannot handle as much load, reduce the weight. Servers that have more RAM and CPU, increase the weight, so these servers will get more sessions. The session broker is very easy to install and set up. To install it, add the broker role to your server, and then add each of the servers that you want the TS Session Broker to manage to a local group called Directory Session Computers. If you install the broker on a domain controller, you will need to add your terminal server computer account to a domain local group of the same name. I have created one server called Broker and 2 terminal servers called NLB1 and NLB2. Let's have a look how to install and configure the TS Session Broker. First of all, the Terminal Services Session Broker needs to be added as a role through Server Manager. Launch Server Manager from the Start menu and then select the option Add Roles under Roles. Select the role Terminal Services from the list. Since this server will only be used to run the broker, I only need to select TS Session Broker from the list. The broker is a completely standalone install and does not require any other terminal services components. Press the Install button and the TS Session Broker will be installed. The broker is a very simple install. Once installed, the only configuration required for the broker is adding the computer accounts of the servers you wish to use it with to a local group. Select Configuration in Server Manager and open Local Users and Groups. The group that I'm after is Session Directory Computers. All computers that are managed by the broker must be added to this group. In this case, I want to add NLB1 and NLB2 to this group. Once this is done, the broker is configured and ready to go. Once the TS Session Broker is installed, it must be configured on each terminal server that you want the broker to manage. Using Terminal Services Configuration, you need to tell your terminal server the computer name of the broker and the farm name. You can also set the weight of the server here as well. No configuration is performed on the server with TS Broker, which means that you cannot use TS Broker to centrally manage your configuration. If you want to manage your settings centrally, you can use Group Policy. As you can see here, you can configure a lot of settings for TS Broker via Group Policy. If you want to change the weight of the server, you still need to do this locally. If you have a lot of servers in your farm, using Group Policy is the fastest and easiest way to configure the TS Broker on them. Let's have a look how to configure a terminal server to use the TS Broker. First of all, from your server running terminal services, launch the Terminal Services configuration from Administrative Tools under the Start menu. Scroll down to the bottom and you can see that TS Session Broker is not configured. If I right click on this and select Properties, I am taken straight into the TS Session Broker tab. Select the option Join our farm in TS Session Broker to enable the use of the broker. From here, you need to enter the name of the broker and the name of the farm. If you only want the broker to reconnect disconnected sessions, you don't need to select the option Participate in Session Broker Load Balancing. In this example, there is 2 servers, and this is the slower one. So what I will do is enable load balancing and set the wait to 50. In this example, I am going to use DNS Round Robin to perform load balancing. If you have another load balancing solution in place, you may need to deselect the option Use IP Address Redirection. Lastly, I need to select which IP address will be used when a session reconnects to the server. Press Apply and the TS Session Broker is now configured for your terminal server. In order to get your clients connecting to your new terminal server farm, you need to set up DNS Round Robin. When a DNS server is asked to resolve an IP address from a name, the DNS server has multiple records for the same name. Each record, however, has a different IP address. When this occurs, the DNS server returns the records in order from start to finish. In our example, if you request the address of the server farm, the first user to contact the DNS server will get the IP address of NLB1. The second user to contact the DNS server will get the address of NLB2. The third user to contact the DNS server will get NLB1 again. The DNS server simply cycles through the records for each request it gets. The advantage of DNS Round Robin is that it is simple to set up. DNS Round Robin does not perform weighted load balancing. This is instead performed by the Terminal Services Broker. It is possible that a user will resolve a DNS name at 2 different times and get 2 different IP addresses. For this reason, a round-robin solution is not suitable for certain types of applications. Using the Terminal Services Broker, if your user is sent to the wrong server, the broker will redirect them to the correct server. To set up round robin, all you need to do is add some DNS records to your DNS server for your server farm. Let's have a look how to do that. To add the server farm to DNS, open the DNS Tools from Administrative Tools in the Start menu. Expand down to the forward lookup zone for your domain. You should see other servers from your domain in here. From here, I want to create a new A record for each of the servers that will be in my server farm. Right-click now and select New A Record. Enter the name of your server farm and the IP address of the first server. Enter the server farm name again and the IP address of the second server. You will notice now that there are 2 records for my server farm that match up to the 2 terminal server IP addresses. These 2 records will be returned in rotating order when requested by clients. This completes your terminal services configuration for load balancing. Remember that, even if you don't plan to use load balancing, if you have more than one terminal server in your organization, it is worth installing the TS Session Broker to ensure that disconnected users get reconnected back to the correct server.